Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all an update to my Nova Grappler Cardfight Vanguard deck profile for standard format. Post Logic of Salvation. I think it's Light of Salvation, Logic of Destruction. I always get the two names mixed up. But anyway, bringing you all an update to the deck profile. We received new Nova Grappler support in the latest booster pack. I wasn't calling the deck profile Beast Deities. We get more support in the next booster set for Beast Deities, so I think that would make it more of an official Beast Deity deck. We only got a few cards this time around, so I think it's more of just a generic Nova Grappler deck mixed in with some of the old support from the Q4 booster pack and all the support we have now in this booster set. Very, very fun. Beast Deity Azure Dragon is the main go-to card in the deck with its skill that lets you attack during your main phase. Quite game-breaking. I'm surprised we haven't actually had anything like that so far in the game yet. But enough talking. Let's go ahead and dive right into the deck profile. So for the Beast Deity Azure Dragons, sadly, I haven't been able to pull anymore. I'm actually probably just going to end up either trading for them or purchasing them. Easiest way to go about it. I only have the one in the deck, but I'll show what grade 3s I would take out for this card. On Vanguard, when placed, you can counterblast one, draw a card, and call a card from your hand to rear and attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. And if that attack did not hit at the end of that battle, stand that unit. And also on Vanguard, when it attacks, you can counterblast one and stand one of your rear guards. So that attack power during your main phase definitely does come in handy for the fact that you can then restand some of the other units or call over them, just getting multiple attacks off in a way we never really thought of in this game. So I would definitely say it's a strong powerhouse added to the Nova Grappler deck, and when we get a Luminal Beast Deity, we're just going to have more of a Beast Deity focus in the deck for sure for all of your power plays. But for additional grade 3s, I'm also running 4 Perfect Riser. Now this number will definitely go down in exchange for Beast Deity Azure Dragon. I'd probably take out at least 2 more of the Perfect Riser, just for the fact that I think Perfect Riser does well and more of a Perfect Riser with Risers as support-based deck. For the fact that when it attacks, you can counterblast 2 and stand 2 of your rear guards in the front row. That's definitely a generic skill, but also on Vanguard, when it attacks, hits, if you have a card with Riser in its card name in your soul, you can countercharge 1 and one of your units gets plus 5,000 to end the turn. Now we do have a couple other Risers in this deck, so it definitely is possible. Not as consistent since we took a good number of them out for some of the other Beast Deity support. So there may be some chances when you ride Perfect Riser that you just don't have that set up for the counter charge, which is why I want to reduce the number of this card in the deck. But another new generic one, I definitely do, like I said, want to make a Riser deck profile as well for everything we received in the new set, just for the new support for them. 3 Incise Riser. On Vanguard, when it attacks, you counterblast 1 and stand all of your rear guards on your additional rear guards. I would say it's definitely stronger late game than Perfect Riser, just for that less counterblasts, more consistency for standing, all the additional rear guards. So if you have more Imaginary Gift Excels set up, you can just get more attacks off with Incise Riser. Doesn't have any other beneficial effects, but still very, very nice for that multiple attack, easy counterblast where you can use the counterblast for your other cards, and just need that one set up for this card to use. And then just being able to ride into this card multiple times late game after you've used up the Azure Dragon skills definitely does help as well. And then I also just have the 1 Ashura Kaiser in the deck. This would be the last card to take out to run 4 Beast Deity Azure Dragons. So 1 Ashura Kaiser and 2 Perfect Risers for that full playset of Beast Deity Azure Dragon in the deck. Like I said, I definitely want to get more, and I definitely will have my playset come the Beast Deity deck profile for the next booster pack coming out. But this is just another good Excel unit I wanted to run. 9. It's always been my go-to number for the Excel Nova Grappler deck, just so you always have those grade 3s to ride into and 1s to continuously ride into, so you can have the Excel circles set up for your other rear guards. And that is it for the grade 3s. When I move on to the grade 2s, I run 4 Beast Deity Black Tortoise. It's a once per turn on rear guard, counterblast 1, and soul blast 1, stand this unit, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with it. If that attack did not hit at the end of that battle, rest this unit. So along with Azure Dragon's combo, it's definitely a good powerhouse just for multiple attacks still during the main phase, so you can have the first attack go through with your Beast Deity Azure Dragon, then just have, you know, this one attack again with its own skill. And just being able to restand it again if it did not hit, so you can go into the attack step with this card as well. And I also run 3 of the Brutal Jack. It's not the 11k, sadly. I've mentioned this before. I really thought it'd be cool if it was, but with this one, on Vanguard or Rear during your turn, it gets plus 10,000. This card cannot be stand during your stand phase, and once per turn, rest 2 rear guards to stand this unit. So with this card, you can definitely combo it well with Black Tortoise, just for the stand and attack, since when it's at rest, you can restand it. So being able to use Brutal Jack to restand this card early game definitely does help, and then setting you up for the Black Tortoise plays also with your rear guards. And then to wrap up the grade 2s, I also have 3 Burst Riser. It's a generic riser still with the restand power and the plus 3,000 if you have 4 or more cards in your damage zone, just for a Counterblast and a Soul Blast, which a lot of skills in this deck just have the 1 Counterblast. So as long as you know you're using them seldomly, you should be able to at least ration them out to depending on which ones you want to go for. And also 2 Iron Killer. I was debating between Iron Killer and the new Repair Riser, I believe is its name, in the new set. But I still like Iron Killer. It's got the plus 5,000 for having your rear guard set up, especially on the Excel Circle. You can hit some bigger numbers for sure, go up against some 13k powers, having your opponent throw down the critical triggers just so they can block that attack as well. So just a good additional backup grade 2 to all the other ones. And then also moving on now to the grade 1s, I run 4 Beast Deity Scarlet Bird. On rear guard when placed during your main phase, you can Soul Blast 1, stand all of your units. If you have 2 or more units, and if Beast Deity White Tiger is in your soul, draw a card. Just easy draw power. You don't Counterblast at all for the skill, so very, very helpful there. Soul Blast doesn't really take up much else in the deck, so just running this at 4 for that draw power definitely does come in handy. And then obviously we're running Beast Deity White Tiger as our starter for the main reason of this card. It's one of the few times, along with some of the other cards I remember, Battle Riser was very important for the Nova Grappler deck to have as your starter. So just like that, Scarlet Bird is very important for that setup. And I also run 4 Riser Custom. Now, there's a big go-to card for sure. It still is because of the fact that it's a potential first turn ride, so you can attack on the first turn if you wish, but also just when your other rear guard in the same column as this stands, you may stand this unit. So additional stands and good boost with your other cards on the field with this card, so you really can't go wrong with 4 of it, just knowing you have that setup. If your cards on your Excel circle, you have that power boost, but a lot of your rear guards on your main circles could really go for an additional boost after they attack once more and restand again with Riser Custom. And I want to run 4 Claydol Mechanic. When placed, if you have a total of 4 or less cards in your hand and rear guards, draw a card. And when you Counterblast, retire this unit to countercharge 1. A good countercharge option in the deck that I like. So it definitely does come in handy with all the counterblasting we do. So I run 4 of this. I just have the Jet Riser until I get the final 4 of this. I actually couldn't remember this card as being one of the triple rares in the booster pack for the latest set, Light of Salvation, Logic of Destruction. When I was pulling the packs, I couldn't remember what the 2 final triple rares were, and they were both the Grade 1 Kagro and the Grade 1 Nova Grappler triple rares. I think this might be the only triple rare in the set, but like I said, it gives you draw power, which has been a big weakness for the Nova Grappler deck in standard format, and the counter charge power, just like the old Claydol Mechanic used to do. So a definite 4 of. I like the boost that Jet Riser used to give, but now with our plays, I just find that you need the counterblasts for your Black Tortoise plays and all the different ones you can do with Beast Deity Azure Dragon as well. You can eat up your counterblasts very, very quickly with this deck. And then that is it for the grade 1s. For the grade 0s, I run your starter, which is actually very important to run this specific starter for the deck. Beast Deity, White Tiger, when wrote upon, draw a card, but this is for Scarlet Bird. And then also just going to play more into the fact when we get more Beast Deity support in the upcoming packs to run this as our starter. But you need it as in your soul, so what better way to set it up in your soul than to have it as your starter, obviously. Just make sure you don't soul blast it, or you won't be able to benefit from the Scarlet effects later on in the game. And then for the trigger lineup, I considered Rainbow. I have the 8 front trigger in here currently, so 4 Turbo Riser and 4 Cannonball. Might change it up to 4 critical as well, just for additional pressure, but I do like the front triggers. They help with my units just having good boosts, multiple attacks, wins me games for sure with this deck. And I also run the 4 Twin Blader, just generic drop trigger perfect guard for the deck, and also 4 Wall Boy for the heals to wrap up as well. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm definitely going to do a Riser deck profile, so look forward to that. And then until the next booster set, we will be able to do a more full, pure version of Beast Deities as well. But until then, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.